Hello guys, welcome to Simplilearn's live session. Today we will discuss the best way to begin with coding in the year 2021. Let's wait for an ample amount of time so that few more people can tune in. By the time, please allow me to tell you that we have daily updates on multiple technologies. So if you are the tech geek in a continuous hunt for latest technological trends, then consider getting subscribed to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon so that you can never miss an update from our end. So we have a few more people now. Hi everyone, welcome to Simplilearn. 2020 has been a year of many things, but one thing that hasn't stopped is the technology. And to master any technology, you need to have a good understanding of programming, how to solve a problem, and much more. And today, this particular video is dedicated for the same. I will be explaining you the best way to learn coding and what to do and what not to do. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first phase that we will encounter when we want to learn coding will be few doubts and questions. They are, why exactly do I need to code? Well, there are many reasons for this particular aspect, but most of the time you want to get started with coding, as coding is the buzzword and it's the only way for you to get placed into your dream company that offers you a big fat package to live life king size. Once you get into your job, it becomes your responsibility to give your best and frequently keep yourself upskilled to stay ahead in the race and earn bigger than ever. So that was all revolving around one point, that was huge salary package. There is also another reason why people always really get started with coding. There are a few enthusiasts who are always in the hunt for latest technological trends and updates on various platforms and programming languages, IDEs, frameworks, and much more. This is what keeps them proactive in learning how to code. So the bottom line of the story is, regardless of the reason that is driving you to learn code, it is possible for everyone to do it. See, coding is that one magical stream that anyone and everyone can dive into and happily build a beautiful career of your dreams. So this was about why you need to code. So the next point is all about what to code, where to code, and how to code. So these kind of questions, the decision that you believe can change your life. So it's all about choosing your field. As per the current IT industry, there are multiple possibilities to start your career with. All the major career options boil down to three major streams. They are mobile application development, desktop application development, big data, and data science. So before you begin with your career in any of these three technologies, I would request you to do some research about these fields. There are possibilities that you might have already worked with some fundamentals of these technologies. For example, if you are well versed with Kotlin and Java programming languages, some of the popular IDEs like Eclipse, IntelliJ, Android Studio, then you will definitely find it easy to begin with mobile application development. Also, you might want to learn a little bit of Swift so that if you want to work with iOS application development, then it would be helpful. After that, if you have a good understanding of PHP, Python, and some good scripting languages such as JavaScript, etc., then you can jump into desktop application development. Everyone knows SQL, and every programmer has some decent fundamentals in mathematics. So it must be really a great option to choose your career in big data and data science, because the foundations of big data and data science are laid on SQL and statistics mainly, and this is the easiest and simplest way to build your career in coding. So we will discuss each of these career options in detail and also the languages, frameworks, and IDEs that you might want to get well versed with to begin with your career in these fields. So the first one we have is the mobile application development. One simple reason for the increased demand of mobile application development industry is a rapidly rising number of smartphone users and business. Undoubtedly, the world is revolving around the digital experience and on-demand applications which have become an integral part of our daily lives. The growing popularity of mobile applications and increasing operating systems pull out the two major concerns for the startups. with roughly around 5.5 billion smartphone users that use mobile phones globally today, making mobile application development one of the most booming market in the world. So, the mobile application development fields need the following things as the fundamentals. We have languages, frameworks, and IDEs. So when we come into languages, we have Kotlin, Java, and Swift. And similarly, when we get into frameworks, we have Flutter, Swiftic, React, and finally we have the IDEs on the right side column, which are the Apache Cordova, Android Studio, and Visual Studio. Don't worry, we will discuss each one of these things from languages, frameworks to IDEs in detail and depth. So the first segment that we will be discussing to begin with your coding experience with mobile application development is the languages. So first we have Kotlin. Many startup and Fortune 500 companies have already developed Android applications using Kotlin. If you want to start using Kotlin for Android development, read Google's recommendation for getting started with Kotlin on Android. If you are new to Android and want to learn to create applications with Kotlin, then using Kotlin for your application development gives you an edge. So why does Kotlin is highly preferred? So this features might help you out to understand why Kotlin is the best. Kotlin helps you to learn coding combined with greater readability, matured language and environment, followed by that Kotlin's strong support for Android Jetpack and other libraries, then interoperability with existing Java programming language, support for multi-platform development, code safety, easy learning, and finally, the Kotlin has a biggest community of fellow developers who are enthusiastically waiting to help out fellow developers. Next we have the Swift. Swift has changed the course of iOS app development industry. It has highly intuitive programming language for Apple operating systems like iOS, macOS, and watchOS. The language has opened new doors to entrepreneurs to make their idea work, which was impossible for a long time. Earlier, iOS application development used to be time-consuming, difficult, and the frequency of app crash was really higher. Before Swift, iOS application development was mostly done with Objective-C, a subset of C programming language with added object-oriented features, but app development using Objective-C was really tough. So Swift offers you some of the best-in-class features that include the following: easy to code and maintain, data management, high interactivity, Linux development support, better code safety, and finally, performance at lightning speeds. Next, we have Java programming language. Java is an open source object-oriented programming language that makes it one of the most popular choices among others. Also, high fame as one of the best programming languages, Java opens up the door to innovation when it comes to coding. With each passing day, the Java programming language has been becoming more approachable. Some of the major reasons to choose Java for the mobile application development are: Java is an object-oriented programming language. Followed by that, Java is an open source programming language available for all the developers. Next, Java has a seamless community of fellow developers to help you out to resolve your real-time issues. Next, we have a very important point which says Java is always easy to learn. And finally, we have the last point which says Java embraces powerful development tools. So moving ahead, we will discuss the frameworks to be used for mobile application development. So the popular frameworks for getting started with mobile application development are Flutter, Swiftic, and React. First, we will discuss about Flutter. Flutter can make launching mobile applications more comfortable for startups to roll out their feature-rich mobile application without getting a burnt hole in their pockets. That means cost-friendly. Next, Flutter's hot reload feature makes it stand out apart from the crowd. This feature allows developers to quickly and easily experiment, build UI, add features, and debug their apps in real time. No matter how complex your project is, developers can easily turn your app idea into a perfect solution by simply leveraging the broad choice of built-in beautiful materialistic design, including rich motion APIs, widgets, smooth natural scrolling behavior, and many more. As it is open source, therefore developers can explore countless design options while developing an app with Flutter. Next we have Swiftic. Swiftic is the world's leading do-it-yourself app creation platform. Our unique platform enables anyone quickly and easily create custom mobile applications and sites for all major mobile devices like iPhone and Android with minimal cost and no coding necessary. Swiftic provides easy to use user-friendly navigation and provides a wide range of integration options. Swiftic also has a large window for design flexibility and template choice. Next we have React. Native React lets you create uncompromised native mobile applications with ease along with high fluidic performance. React offers the following features: fast and cost-effective application development. Next we have application development with better user interface and user experience, code reusability, easy transition of web application to mobile applications, and finally highly compatible with third-party plugins. Now moving ahead, let us quickly discuss the IDEs that you can choose for mobile application developments. The simplest and the beginner level IDEs for mobile application development are Apache Cordova, Android Studio, and Visual Studio. Apache Cordova enables developers to build cross-platform mobile applications with HTML5, CSS3, and JavaScript. The developers can use HTML5 and CSS3 to render content and JavaScript to render logic. Also, they can build amazing hybrid mobile applications using several JavaScript libraries. Next, we have Android Studio. Android Studio has always been the one-stop solution for Android application development. If you are a beginner, you may feel that Android Studio is really difficult tool. But trust me, once you know how to use it properly, your life as an Android developer will become so easy. Android Studio is a great tool to build Android applications. And lastly, we have the Microsoft Visual Studio. Microsoft Visual Studio provides an Android emulator for Android application development. You can build applications for Android, iOS, and Windows devices by using Visual Studio. As you design your application, use tools in Visual Studio to easily add connected services such as Microsoft 365, Azure App Service, and Application Insights. Build your apps by using C# and .NET Framework, HTML, and JavaScript or C++. Now with this, we have finished with what it takes to begin your coding with mobile application development. Now let us continue with desktop application development. So desktop application basically deals with the web-based applications that run on standalone desktops or laptops. Desktop applications are more popular than you can imagine. If you use Microsoft applications or browsers like Google Chrome and Firefox, you would definitely understand what role desktop applications play in our work lives and business. If you are planning for desktop application development, then that can be a great choice. So for a beginner, there are some easiest and simple programming languages, frameworks, and IDEs that are as follows. So for programming languages, we have Python, Swift, Java. Now on the next column, we have the frameworks that are beginner friendly, such as Microsoft .NET, Electron, Java Swing. And finally, on the last column, we have the IDEs that are preferable by the beginners, such as PyCharm, Spider, and Microsoft Visual Studio. Now, first, we will learn about some programming languages. At first, we have Python. Python is an interpreted high-level and general-purpose programming language. Unlike other programming languages, Python does not require the developers to express their concepts by writing longer lines of code. The high-level programming language has designed with emphasis on code readability. At the same time, As an open source programming language, Python makes it easier for enterprises to reduce the project overhead significantly. Python is highly flexible. That is why software developers across the world use Python for developing desktop applications, web applications, and much more. Some developers even prefer writing mobile applications using Python using additional tools and frameworks. Followed by Python, we have Swift. Swift is an Apple's open source general purpose programming language that developers use to develop programs for iOS, macOS, watchOS, tvOS, Linux, and ZOS platforms. The Apple-backed Swift project has now released downloadable Swift toolchain images for Windows. So this can contain everything needed to build and run Swift code on Windows operating systems. Followed by Swift, we have Java. All desktop applications can be easily developed using Java. Java also provides graphical user interface development capability through various means, mainly abstract windowing toolkit, that is AWT, Swing, and JavaFX. While AWT holds a number of pre-assembled components like menu, list, button, Swing is a graphical user interface widget toolkit. So Swing provides some advanced elements like trees, scroll panes, tables, tabbed panels, and lists. So followed by the programming languages, let us learn about the frameworks. So for desktop application development, the following are the best ones to begin with. We have .NET, Electron, and Java Swing. So .NET consists of number of tools, libraries, and compiler components. These tools along with .NET specific programming languages can be used for desktop application development that runs on Windows. Next we have Electron. Electron is a dream come true for web developers. It is a revolution that makes things easier for them. We all know that the interface is one of the crucial elements in software, and these days there are several options to create different kinds of interfaces. But it had always scattered the web applications and installed programs. Desktop apps were relegated to background, but not anymore. They have risen from ashes and are making a strong comeback thanks to the frameworks like Electron. Followed by Electron, we have Java Swing. Java Swing is a part of Java Foundation classes, that is JFC, that is used to create window-based applications. It is built on top of AWT, that is Abstract Windowing Toolkit API, and entirely written using Java programming language. Unlike AWT, Java Swing provides platform-independent and lightweight components. The Java X.Swing package provides classes for Java Swing API such as JButton, JTextField, JTextArea, JRadioButton, JCheckbox, JMenu, JColorChooser, and many more. With that, we will now discuss the IDEs that you can learn to use when it comes to developing desktop applications. So the first IDE is the PyCharm. The PyCharm IDE is one of the most popular editors used by professional Python developers and programmers. The vast number of PyCharm features does not make this IDE difficult to use, just the opposite. Many of the features help PyCharm a great Python IDE for beginners. Next we have Spider. Spider is basically an acronym for Scientific Python Development Environment. It's intended for use as a workbench for scientific computing with Python, and that's reflected in the feature set, the packing, and the overall behavior of this particular IDE. Spider has useful features for general Python development, but unless you work mainly with IPython and scientific computing packages, you're probably better off with a different IDE. So followed by Spider, we have the Visual Studio. For the developers who work with Microsoft Development Services, Visual Studio is the best. Using Microsoft Visual Studio, you can develop high-quality applications for Windows, Microsoft Office, Windows Phone, the Internet, and the cloud. Most developers say the software is the best solution for Microsoft application development. Now, we shall enter the next segment that will be about big data and data science. The big data era and its golden flight run have already taken off. Like other similar technologies, there will be many roller coaster moments, but it's going to be a fun ride. You can upskill and get to learn a lot from this particular segment. So you can begin with the following languages, frameworks, and IDEs. So the languages are Python, R, and JavaScript. And when we get into frameworks, we have Django, TensorFlow, Apache Spark, and finally for IDEs we have PyCharm, Spider, and Atom. So first we will deal with languages. So according to recent studies, Python is referred as the best programming language for data scientists. Data scientists often need a easy-to-use programming language that has decent library availability and great community participation. So having good fundamental knowledge on Python can prove to be helpful. Next we have R programming language. R is a language designed especially for statistical analysis and data reconfiguration. This makes R a perfect choice for data analysis and projection. Members of our community are very active and supportive, and they have great knowledge of statistics as well. Next, we have JavaScript. Unless you have decided that you want to learn data science first, then you may learn Python or R first. Otherwise, I recommend JavaScript over other programming languages for beginners and startups. The JavaScript's learning curve is not steep. So for this reason, we use JavaScript for both client-side and server-side programming. Node.js is efficient because of its single-thread event callback mechanism. This enables us to develop scalable real-time applications. It's all about picking the right tool for the right tasks. Although Python has developed a robust ecosystem of data science tools and helps data scientists perform analytical work, I believe in the future JavaScript will help development of ecosystem for data science tools and its own flavor in the near future. Now let's check out some top frameworks that you can begin with. So first we have Django. Django is basically a web framework. So for data scientists who want or need to work with the development of web applications, Django will be a good choice as most of them already know Python. Next we have TensorFlow. TensorFlow is a framework created by Google for creating deep learning models. Deep learning is a category of machine learning models that use multi-layer neural networks. Machine learning has enabled us to build complex applications with great accuracy. Whether it has to do with images, videos, text, or even audio, machine learning can solve problems from a wide range. TensorFlow can be used to achieve all of these applications. So followed by TensorFlow, we have Apache Spark. It is easy to see why Apache Spark is so popular. It does in-memory, distributed, and iterative computation, which is particularly useful when working with machine learning algorithms. Other tools might require writing immediate results to disk and reading them back into memory, which can make use iterative algorithms and which happens to be painfully slow. But that's not the only reason to like Spark. Now, let us learn about the IDEs that you can choose to begin with your career in data science. So first we have PyCharm. PyCharm is a dedicated IDE for Python. PyCharm to Python is what Eclipse to Java. The fully featured integrated development enterprise is available in both free and paid versions, dubbed community and professional editions respectively. It is one of the quickest IDEs to install with a simplistic setup thereafter and preferred by data scientists. For those with a likeliness for IPython or Anaconda distribution, know that PyCharm easily integrates tools with Matplotlib and NumPy. This means you can work easily with array viewers and interactive plots while working on data science projects. Other than that, the IDE extends support for JavaScript, Angular JavaScript, etc. This makes it opportune for web development too. Followed by that, we have Spider. Spider is open source and it is specially dedicated IDE for Python. What's unique about this IDE is that it's optimized specially for data science workflows. It comes bundled with Anaconda Package Manager, which is the standard distribution of Python programming language. Spider has all the necessary IDE features including code completion and integrated documentation browser. So followed by Spider, we have Atom. Atom is free open source text and source code editor available for a number of programming languages including Java, PHP and Python. The text editor supports plugins written in Node.js. Although Atom is available for a number of programming languages, it shows an exceptional love for Python with its interesting data science features. Also, apart from Python, Spider and PyCharm, we have another IDE which is Jupyter Notebook. Born out of IPython in 2014, Jupyter Notebook is a web application based on the server-client structure. It allows you to create as well as manipulate notebook documents called notebooks. For Python data scientists, Jupyter Notebook is a must-have and it offers one of the best intuitive and interactive data science environments. So this was all about choosing your right field and the programming languages, frameworks and IDEs required for your field. Now moving ahead, we shall deal with the next part of our tutorial that will be about the best resources to begin with. So once after you select your right career path, you need to start searching for the best resources to begin with coding. So there are numerous online resources available to get started with coding. You can refer to top ranking articles and you can also refer to YouTube tutorials, and you can also wisely invest your time studying and going through some offline books as well if you have some. So if you ask me, I would recommend you the Simplilearn YouTube channel for online tutorials and also Simplilearn official website where you can get thousands of free resource articles. So when you start your YouTube application and navigate yourself to Simplilearn's YouTube channel, then you can find out that Simplilearn has numerous tutorial videos based on a wide range of technologies, and every concept is explained using beautiful infographics, and for a better understanding of the concept, they have also included practical examples. Not only this, on their official website, they have free resources for all the courses. So just navigate yourself to the resources, and inside the resources on the left hand side you have got all the technologies that you are looking for. For example, just click on the big data and analytics, and inside that you have numerous number of articles along with the codes you can execute on your local system. You can learn the concept and execute the programs in your local system for better understanding. Now that you have a brief understanding of better resources, the next step would be to try building projects. So once you decide the career path and get all the basics you need like programming languages, frameworks and the IDEs that you can work with, then refer to some online tutorials and examples, everything. Once you feel that, yeah, I can do something on my own, then you should better start building your projects. So projects basically play a very important role in learning a new different concept. So once you start building your project, the first thing that you will encounter will be an error or an exception or some other problem. So whatever the technology you're learning or whatever the career you have chosen, the major aspect of that particular career or the major aspect of that particular technology will be the problem solving capability. So even after learning coding, when you join into a company, then the major aspect the company will look for is the problem solving capability. So don't get panic when you get a problem when you execute a code. So you have multiple sites where you can get solutions for your problems. So Google will be your first line of defense. So whatever the error you face, just copy that error and paste it on Google search bar and you will find the solutions for that. Similarly, Stack Overflow is another website which has a huge community of developers. Regardless of whatever the programming language, whatever the framework, whatever the problem you have, there are multiple people or multiple fellow developers who have faced the same error and they have fixed it and they have posted their solution over there. Apart from Google and Stack Overflow, we at Simplilearn have our own personalized community with thousands of developers who are enthusiastic to help out beginners with your issues. So when you navigate to Google search window and find out community.simplylearn.com, then you can find yourself in the homepage of Simplylearn's community, where you have multiple technological streams, and if you find any error or any problem on your coding part, then you can visit this site and place your queries here, and we will answer your queries as early as possible. Not only this, we also have separate Telegram groups where you have multiple programmers and developers from various streams who are real-time programmers, and they have years of experience on that particular technology, and they're ready to help you out on your issues. So for example, we have Learn Python Programming, where we have multiple developers and real-time programmers who are ready to help you out when you face any problems in your programming. We have also Learn Data Science, we also have Learn Full Stack Developers, we have Learn Java Programming, and many Telegram groups with many programmers to help you out whenever you face any issues on your programming part. I will drop the invitation link to these groups, and if you're interested, then please feel free to join us, and we will be happy to have you in our group, and we will be really happy to help you out in your coding part. Now we enter into the next step. So you might have a doubt that why do I need to start with a project when I have the basics of programming? So to understand this in a simplest way, let's have a simple analogy. So what's the importance of programming? So building your project is really important, as you will personally get your hands on the project and you will have a better understanding of real-time technicalities of various aspects like IDEs, programming languages, tools used, dependencies, and many more. So unless you get your hands on your own project, you will not have some good problem solving skills. So this can be explained better through this small example. Imagine that you wanted to become a cricket player. So if you wanted to become a cricket player, then what will you do? Of course, there are some ways. So the basic ways are, first you need to understand what the game is, how many players you will be having on your team and on the opponent team, what are the roles of the players like fielder, keeper, batsman, bowler, everything. So once you get the basic knowledge, then what will you do? Will you practice, play and perfect your play? Or will you just continue to watch your tutorials and learn the theory part of the cricket? So to become an actual cricket player, you need to practice, play and perfect your play once you get the theory done. Unless you do it, you cannot become a cricket player. So similarly, unless you get your hands dirty in coding, you cannot become a perfect programmer. So followed by that simple analogy, we have our next part. What type of project you need to choose? So before beginning with a project, you might have your friends who are working for a company in a dream role that you wanted to be in, or your friend might have finished a project that you are interested in. So you can contact your friends and consider having a discussion with them about the project you wanted to choose, what might be the technicalities of the project. So that's kind of an approach. And you can also build your portfolios for your future purpose or future reference, so that you can help out your friends when they are in need of that. So for a beginner, there are multiple approaches or multiple openings for building your projects. For example, you have software development, data science and artificial intelligence, machine learning, game development, web development, mobile application development, and many more. So to begin with software development, you might want to become perfect with some programming languages such as C++, Java, Python, etc. And similarly, for game development, you also have some programming languages like C#, C++, and others. Then you have data science, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, for which you might need JavaScript, MATLAB, R programming language, and Python. Followed by data science, you have mobile application development, which requires Swift programming language, Kotlin, Python, and Java. So then we have web development, for which we might need Node.js, React, PHP, HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and many others. So it all depends on your choice. So some may prefer Python with PHP, some may prefer Node.js, some may prefer HTML, JS, CSS, etc. So it all depends on your choice. So basically, to begin with a project, you need to have a better understanding of a programming language first. So now let's understand how to begin with a programming language. So to start with a programming language, you need to have some fundamentals of that particular programming language. So the fundamentals such as data types, keywords and variables, loop statements, conditional statements, exception handling, and many more. So at first, let's have a briefing about data types. So having a better understanding of the data types will help you to choose the right data types for the job so that your program will not have to face silly errors based on just data types. Next, you have the keywords and variables. So every programming language has its own keywords which have special meanings. So if you have a better understanding of keywords, then you will avoid yourself from using the keywords for variables and creating an ambiguity that you may find really tough to come out of. So it's better you have the briefing of keywords first. Then you have the looping statements and conditional statements. So basically, looping statements and the conditional statements happen to be the spinal cord of coding in any programming language. So using these conditional statements and loops, you are going to define the functionality or the logic of your program. So it's really important that you go through this first. Then followed by that, you have the exception handling. So exceptions are the serious problems in any programming language. So just for an example, consider that you wanted to perform some operation like division. So you successfully write the program and you give it to the user. What happens if the user enters some wrong input, such as some special symbols or 0, etc.? Then your program will crash, right? So you can avoid these problems by using exception handling techniques, by using try and catch methods, which will tell the user to provide the right input in case if the user provides a wrong input such as 0 or special symbols. So this kind of approach will provide an output without crashing your program. So exception handling also plays a major role in starting to learn a language. So with this, we enter into our last topic, which is buy the best courses. So the perfect solution to learn coding in 2021 would be to buy the best classes and leading training courses online. Online courses not only helps you to train correctly, but also helps you with real-time projects, problem-solving skills, and interview assistance. So Simplilearn is one of the top e-learning sites that provides you the best-in-class online courses with problem-solving skills, along with real-time projects and interview assistance to find your dream career. So when you Google for Simplilearn's official website, then you can find yourself landing on this particular page. And for example, if you wanted to take up data scientist program, then you can search in the search window for data science. Then you can find yourself on this particular page, which has the data scientist master's program. You can see that this particular master's program is being collaborated with IBM, and it is being provided a rating of 4.7, and it's the world's leading #1 online bootcamp. So scrolling a little further, you can find out details about the program, and after that you can see the tools covered in this particular program and a little bit information about the program advisor, the learning path, the courses offered in this particular program, and the electives that you get along with the program. And finally, you will get the Simplilearn's Master's Certificate in Data Science. I'll drop the link for Simplilearn's YouTube channel, Simplilearn's community, Simplilearn's Telegram groups, and Simplilearn's official website in case if you wanted to buy their courses. So with this, we have come to an end of this particular live session. If you have any queries regarding this particular tutorial,